everybody, and welcome to Stamping with Tanya Badalka. Today I am going to show you a Thinking Outside the Box for July 2021, The Adventure Begins Paper Pumpkin Kit. So we are going to use some elements out of this kit to make a card that is featured on the back. These are alternative cards that you could make. So we're going to try doing this one right here. I will show you a couple different things, okay? So what we need to do is I have got a card base that is Bermuda Bay, and it's 8.5 by 5.5 squared at 4 1/4. Then I have this piece here, and it is the card that's here. So I've cut it here, and then I cut it down to 5 1/4 by 4. And then this is a piece of DSP from I think the textured paper that's in the annual catalog, and you need a piece that is 4 by 2 1/4. And then this piece here is part of the envelope. So I just cut my envelope apart and folded it open. So I've got all kinds of pieces like this, and then I just cut it down to, you could either use this piece or this piece here. So I've made them 4 by 1. Okay, so we'll put the other pieces aside. The stamps that we're going to use today are out of the Paper Pumpkin Kit. It's the full tree and then the little piece on top. And the inks we are going to use are the Shaded Spruce, Garden Green, as well as the Night of Navy. So these inks are all in the kit, and the colors here, I don't know if you know, but it coordinates with these colors: Basic Black, Bermuda Bay, Crushed Curry, Early Espresso, Flirty Flamingo, Garden Green, Granny Apple Green, Mango Melody, Night of Navy, and Whisper White. Okay, so on the instructions, it does show what colors coordinate in these kits. So let's get started. So I think what I'm going to do is, I haven't made my example, I'm just going to show you on the fly kind of thing. So I'm going to adhere this to my card base with my stamping seal. Also, please like and subscribe to my channel so that when I post new videos, you will be the first to see them. So this piece here, the 4 by 2 1/4, what we are going to do is, I think I'm going to use the darker piece, I think. Yeah, I'm going to use the darker piece. So I'm going to adhere this right to this one little unit, because I'll show you why. So I'm going to go like this and lay that flat on there. Now I am also going to use my linen thread. As for the example, it has it tied around the belly. So how I do that is I put a little bit of adhesive here and a little on this end, and then I'm just going to, because DSP is a lighter weight paper, I'm just going to lightly wrap it around and then place it in my adhesive on the back, so that way it stays in place. And then I'm going to use my paper snips and cut it off. So I went around 3 times, and I kind of crisscrossed it as I went, okay? So now this piece here I can lay down on my card base, because it does have a little adhesive on the back already. That way it is adhered to our card and not to my table. Okay, so that's our card base so far. So I'm going to show you how I made this tree. I fussy cut it myself, and I'll show you how I ink this off. So this one here would be perfect. You just have to cut around it. This is full value of the Garden Green, and this is second value of this tree. So how I did that was, I take my Garden Green ink, and I'm going to ink up my tree. And then I'm going to stamp off on scrap paper, and then I'm going to huff it with my breath to re-moisten it, and then stamp again. So that's how that's done. So I'll do that one more time so that you can see. So stamp off, huff, and then stamp again. So that's my second value of my Garden Green. So then what you're going to do with the shaded spruce is you're going to ink this up very well and then place this over your tree so it's nice and dark. There we go. So all you'd have to do now is cut around your tree. And voila, I have pre-cut my tree out. So we'll just place those trees that I stamped aside. And I've placed some stamping dimensionals on the back. So all we have to do is peel this off like that. And then the example said like this. Place it down. And then we're going to stamp this image as well. And we are going to put Let Your Light Shine. And I'm going to quickly clean off my block with my baby wipe. And I'm going to place this here. And I'm going to stamp this with the shaded spruce this time. And I'm going to do this like this. Make sure it's inked up nice and well. Don't rock your stamp, just go down and then up. As you can see, I have ink all over my block because I over inked it in my ink pad because it's very juicy. I'm just going to clean this quick so that I don't have other problems. And then I'm going to place some dimensionals on the back of this. There we go. And then I'm going to place this one, it's set over, like let's do it right there. And then what you're going to do with your linen thread is if you want some tassels hanging, I'm just going to lop off a piece. I'm going to fold it in half. And then I'm going to fold it in half again, so I have 4. And I'm going to slide them under. I guess you could do this before you do your wording, but it doesn't really matter. And then I'm going to tie it into 2 knots. And don't worry about the loops. We are going to cut them when we are done tying our little knot here. I'm going to tie 2, well, 1 should be good. It's pretty tough. And just cut this off with your paper snips a little shorter. And then you can fluff that out a little bit. Like that. So that is, and then we can, with your take your pick tool, you can add a couple of the sequences in here. I love these sequences because they're so easy to work with. I'm going to add 3 blue ones. There. So there's an alternative for this month's Paper Pumpkin kit. So basically, just a different ink and some different DSP, and you have a completely different looking card. I hope you've enjoyed today's little tutorial, and you will join me again. So please like and subscribe, and happy crafting.